Am I the last one buying a Mac Pro 2013?
If you like my videos, feel free to do nothing. Just grab a cup of coffee
and enjoy.
Today it's 13th of March 2019. I bought I made a new order directly from Apple for a Mac Pro 2013. And in my mind I imagine that when my order went to Apple, some guy sitting in a dark room with a cup of coffee and perhaps some music to listen to, and it's dusty everywhere, and no one has been in contact with him for a very long time, and suddenly someone comes down with a piece of paper saying you have to make a Mac Pro 2013 according to these specifications. And this poor guy had to light up Apple factory again. He has to turn on the machines, and he has to build this just for me. At least in my imagination, that is what has happened here. Before me you see the order I just recently made to Apple, and today is 13th of March 2019. And as you can see, it's an iPad Pro. No one's going to blame me for that. But what's that behind there? That's a Mac Pro. It's a Mac Pro from 2013. So, am I crazy? It could be. I don't think I'm crazy that way, but I went for it. And let's see how it goes. But the thing is, I wanted a desktop computer that just works, and I wanted to remain at least a little bit longer in the Mac OS environment. I wanted something reliable. I wanted it to be silent. I wanted it to be invisible, if you know what I mean. I don't want anything to stand between me and the creative work that I do. And that's the only thing that's available right now. So for that Mac Pro I paid, let's see, 38,000 Swedish crowns. And why did I buy it new? For one thing, I'm a company, so I have tax reduction. So actually the price for me is 30,000 Swedish crowns, or $3,000 roughly. And I got the twin D700 graphics cards, the highest possible, although old, I know, leave the comments below. And I went for the 6-core CPU. And the rationale for that was the following. There's proprietary stuff in there, of course. Almost everything is proprietary. It's Apple after all. But the memory is standard memory. The CPU is standard CPU. And it's replaceable. So I can go out on eBay or buy new and upgrade the CPU, and I can upgrade the RAM. So I went for the lowest possible there, so that at least I didn't give Apple that kind of money that I can go and buy for a better price elsewhere. The SSD, there actually is companies out there that sells upgrade hardware, so you can put an M2 SSD in there. Maybe I go for that later. There's a lot of restrictions going for this Mac Pro, but, well, you know what I did. I already decided, and then I have to find a rationale for why this is a good buy. And I don't know if I can do that, but thing is, since 2013, the only thing that happened in desktop computer hardware is an increase in bandwidth. The bandwidth is the only thing that explains why newer computers are faster. So this CPU in there is actually on par with modern CPUs. as long as I can trust Apple to try and optimize their software to not bottleneck in the bandwidth limitation of this machine compared to newer machines, I should actually be quite happy with this machine for, I hope, 5 years more. Let's see how that goes. So by buying this, I had to do a thorough analysis of what actually makes a computer tick and where's the bottlenecks and how can I rationalize that this is a computer I can still use for a while. So let's see how it goes. I now bought into this computer. The next thing I have to do now is solve the external drive problem. I went for 512 gigabytes of SSD in there. So I actually aiming for having my storage external so that when I switch computer in the future I can keep the external storage. So that's also a design or an architecture or a decision I made to separate the processing unit, which is of course the computer, from the storage, from the display, from any other external devices, so that I keep my computer solution modular, so that I can compose in the future. So that's the stuff I now have. I trust it to be silent, I trust it to just work, I trust Apple to keep making the operating system work on this machine for, I hope, 5 years more. I hope for 7 years more, because they still sell it, so, well, what could you know? And I'm going for Thunderbolt 3 USB 4 external drive possibilities, or USB possibilities, so that I can also keep the storage I buy fresh for 4, 5, 7, 10 years more, I don't know. So yeah, I just wanted to make this video about me being perhaps the last one buying a Mac Pro 2013. So thank you for watching and see you next time.